The last concept of this chapter is tissue growth, development, repair, and degeneration. I'm only going to focus on tissue growth and development. Tissue growth means increasing the number of cells or increasing the size of existing cells. Hyperplasia means growth through cell multiplication. So this means the cell number will increase through mitosis. Hypertrophy means increase of the cell size of existing cells. So this means the enlargement of pre-existing cells. So many people are doing weightlifting or weight training. So when they exercise their muscle using the weight dumbbells after a certain period of time of consistent exercising, their muscle become bigger. So this is called muscle hypertrophy. Neoplasia is abnormal tissue growth. So this mainly focuses on development of a tumor. The tumor can be benign or malignant. So this type of tissue growth of abnormal, non-functional tissues. So hyperplasia, hypertrophy are normal tissue growth. Another two types of normal tissue growth are differentiation and metaplasia. Differentiation means development of more specialized cell from unspecialized cell. So unspecialized cell means stem cell, which I'm going to talk about in the next slide. Metaplasia is different than differentiation. Metaplasia means the change of cell from one already mature tissue type into another tissue type. For example, the vagina tissue before puberty is simple cuboidal. Then after puberty, it will change into stratified squamous. And also in heavy smokers, in the trachea, which was made by pseudostratified columnar epithelia, will be changed into stratified squamous epithelium cells. So this is the examples of metaplasia. The figure here shows you different type of tissue growth. A is increasing of existing cell size. This is the hypertrophy. B is increasing of the cell number, which is hyperplasia. C is having functional cells formed from unspecialized cell. D is changing from columnar cell into squamous cell. So this is the metaplasia. Stem cell is undifferentiated cell that not yet perform any specialized functions. So we have different types of stem cells in our body. Developmental plasticity is the ability of stem cell to give rise to a diversity of mature cell types. Embryonic stem cells are found in the embryo. So there are two types of embryonic stem cell. One is the topipotent. This type of cells can form into any type of fully differentiated human cell, including accessory organs of pregnancy. Pluripotent can develop into any type of cell in the embryo, but not accessory organs of pregnancy. So there's a limitation here. Adult stem cell, those other cells are found in the organs already matured, but those cells are undifferentiated. The example of adult stem cell can be found in bone marrow. Those stem cells in the bone marrow is multiponent cells. So multiponent means these cells are able to develop into two or more cell lines. Some cells are unipotent stem cell. For example, in testes, we have stem cell. It can only form into sperm. The stem cell theory is controversial. Apparently, stem cells can be widely used in treating diseases and replace the damaged tissues or organs. But however, there are some technical, ethical, and legal issues. So those type of issues are hinder the development of the stem cell. Tissue can be repaired. Sometimes we have damaged tissue, so tissue can be repaired. There are two types of repairment for tissue. One is regeneration, replace the damaged tissue with the same type of cell as before through mitosis. And the other type of repair is replace the damaged tissue with scar tissues. So this is called fibrosis. So when fibrosis occur, the scar holds the organs together. However, the scar does not restore the normal function, like the regeneration of the damaged tissue. So I'm not going to go into detail about the steps of tissue repair. Tissue can become degenerated and dead. There are normal degeneration of tissue called atrophy. The atrophy through aging is called senile atrophy. The atrophy from lack of use is called disused atrophy. And there are some pathological tissue deaths due to trauma, toxin, or infection. Those are called necrosis. The necrosis has many reasons. The one reason is sudden death of tissue when blood supply is cut off. This is infection. Then the other type of necrosis is due to insufficient supply. Usually involves infection. This is a gangrene. Then under that gangrene category, we have different type of gangrene. Depends on what is the causes of those infections. The normal cell death happen in our body is called apoptosis. A lot of cells in our body have the programmed cell death, so which means normal death of cells that have completed their function and best serve the body by dying and getting out of the way. So the typical example is our skin cell. Okay, we see many dead skins every 7 days, so every period of time come out during our shower. Scientists will use the tissue repair mechanisms and the tissue regenerating mechanisms to develop the science called tissue engineering. So tissue can be artificially built or transplanted to different species from human or into human. This is a skin graft happened on mice. The human ear is transplanted into this mouse here. In summary, we have talked about 4 primary classes of tissues: epithelial, muscular, connective, and the nerve tissues. So please know their functions and also have tables to summarize the subtypes of each primary tissue, list their cell types, what's in their cellular matrix. In connective tissue, they have fibers. What type of fibers do they have? Then give example of each subtype, and you can also talk about where you can find them. We also mentioned the cell junctions, glands, membranes, so make sure you know different types of those concepts, those structures. Then we mentioned the tissue growth, death, regeneration, and briefly repair.